What's up, everyone? We hope you've been well. Today, we're talking about our issues. These are just a few of our issues that we can talk about today, as well as a couple other larger issues that I'm gonna have to just explain along the way. But let's get started with an easy one: the MaxTrax and Seasucker mounts. And if you're not familiar with what we're talking about here or what our issue is, these are our MaxTrax recovery boards. And we mount them to the truck with these Seasucker vacuum cups. If you're not familiar with Seasucker, check them out. They're an awesome company that make vacuum cup mounts. Essentially, this is a vacuum cup. You will stick this to the side of a vehicle, press this plunger down a couple times until that orange disappears on the plunger, and it leaves you with about a 200 to 400 pound hold to the vehicle that's non-permanent. And that all depends on the size of the cup, but it's a non-permanent hold to the vehicle. And they come up with a ton of creative, different ways to use these to mount things like MaxTrax, high lift jacks, roto packs, water ports. They even have a full-on kitchen that you can vacuum suction to the side of your vehicle to give you a full-on kitchen table with like a little sink and trash in there. And they're really awesome company, and they have a ton of creative solutions, right? So these are our MaxTrax mounts, and where we typically have these vacuum cups is back here on our tailgate. That's been the best location we have ever found to mount our MaxTrax, because this is low to the ground, this is super easily accessible, we still have access to our tailgate, and if we get them all sloppy dirty, we're not left trying to mount them in the usual spot that everybody typically keeps these, on our roof rack. And it's just, again, it's super accessible back here. It's by far our favorite place we have ever found to mount the MaxTrax. And our issue is, on our last overlanding trip that we took out to the Ozarks, we hit a bump on a very cold day, and our MaxTrax, as well as the Seasucker mounts, fell off the tailgate. We were then not able to get them back mounted to the tailgate. Me and Tracy don't know what the issue is, but we just recently had an opportunity to talk to our friends Jen and Jan over at the Seasucker booth at the Save Expo in Stark, Florida. And it was really good to see them, really nice to talk with them. We did ask them about our issue, and Jen, as fantastic as she is kind of explained we're probably the problem. Let me explain. So, it is a known thing that you're supposed to keep these clean. They also come with a shipping cap, this white little plastic cap, and when you go to store them, you're supposed to cap the Seasucker vacuum cups so that they stay nice and safe in their normal shape. We have never done that, so just right off the bat, that's our bad. As well as something that we did not know, because we knew we were making a mistake with that, but that's likely not our issue. She explained that there is a lubricant that comes with these, and I always had no idea what that lubricant was for. Well, I'll show you. So you see this plunger here? Apparently you can just full on pull that out. And if you take a look at it, which this is going to be really hard to show because I can't really get too close, there is a little gasket right here at the tip. It's just a little rubber gasket. And if there is any kind of dirt and grime on that gasket, or it's not very well lubricated, you can lose suction with that as well. So today I'm going to clean these up and see if we can get our MaxTrax back holding onto the tailgate after doing a little bit of maintenance that we probably should have done along the way. But that's going to get back into really the overall issue that Tracy and I are facing. And I kind of want to paint that picture along the way here. So to do that, I think I'm gonna have to kind of take us back to what this channel really is, and we should talk about that. You know, we do a lot of off-road overlanding adventures, and we put out a lot of that content, but at the very base of it, Tracy and I are Florida-based adventurers who are just simply looking to do more of what we love. And that's why we created that tagline of do more of what you love. And that's because in 2020, Tracy and I realized that we were not doing the type of things that we wanted to be doing. So we set out on a mission to do more of what we love, and we created this channel to document those adventures along the way and to share them with you. We hope in some way that somehow someone has been inspired to stop putting up barriers and go out there and do more of what you love. Life is so short. And so that's what we're doing. And so Tracy and I like to do all of these different types of outdoorsy adventures. We like just camping, we like kayaking, we like hiking, we like off-road and overlanding. Hiking is now getting us into backpacking. We have some really awesome backpacking plans for this year. We're gonna get into this. Tracy and I also would like to get into biking, but we've run into issues. And and that's what today's video is about. It's about the issues that we're running into with constantly being on the go to do these adventures. Now, just to be clear here, we are just normal people. We still both have full-time jobs. We have a house here to take care of. We have house projects that we would like to do, as well as trying to take care of all of the equipment that we have, that we've been acquiring to do these adventures that we love doing. And well, there's only so much time that we have available, and that's where our bi-weekly schedule has kind of fit in, because every 2 weeks, that's the amount of adventures that we want to do so that we're satisfied. That's the amount of time that we need to comfortably be able to make a video, to be able to share with you guys. And it keeps us on a regular schedule so that we're regularly getting out there and going on these adventures. But it is such a busy schedule sometimes. Now, that's not a problem. This is what we love doing. We truly, truly do. But there are issues that come up along the way, like these sea sucker mounts. This takes time to take care of. Like a couple of these things that are stacked right here. They take time to get to, and we always find ourselves having to find the time to address those issues. And for the most part, we do a good job of finding ways to squeeze them into our busy schedule so that we can keep the show going here. Now, it is true that a lot of our content is off-road and overland related content. See, if you look at this one, it's a little dry up there. It's probably not got enough lubricant. Actually, it's a little dirty too. Right, so I'm sorry. We do a lot of off-road and overland adventures. Now, the reason why that is because we love to bring our pups with us on our adventures, our 3 Huskies, and everything about our truck here, Loki. A lot of the overlanding and off-road considerations were based around being able to bring our pups with us. That's why the tent is mounted down low. That's why the back seat has been deleted. And it's the reason why we've set up our electric system the way we have, so that we can be able to run an air conditioner when we get into the hot months, so we can keep them comfortable while we go out camping. And now's a good time. We should probably pause and talk about the pup issue. And so here's the part of the video that might make you think we're a little crazy. All right, so this is our back patio here, and before we get going, just so you're not absolutely wondering what's happening back here, there was a massive camphor tree back here that we had cut down about 3 years ago. If you're not familiar with camphor trees, they're not native to Florida. They are an invasive species, and well, their root system stays up on the top, and we had issues with the roots starting to crack the foundation of our back patio here. So we had the tree cut down, and since 3 years ago, we have been working on trying to remove the stump and roots back here so that we can get the whole backyard nicely grassed for all of the pups. And if you're wondering why we're not using a stump grinder, it has already been stump ground, and we don't want to continue doing that the entire way down because it's going to leave us with a massive amount of roots or mulch. But that's just so you know what's happening back here. That's one of the home projects that's been laying around for a good while, stacking up, one of our issues here. But here are our pups. This is the first of our 9-year-old sisters. This is Echo, right? So she is 9 years old, and she is sister to Luna here. She's also 9 years old. They have been loving companions for all those years. Luna likes to be alone a lot. She loves hanging out the window on adventures. Echo here is a very energetic, very mom-like husky. She's very... what do you call that? Affectionate. She likes to make sure that you're taken care of. She's very concerned about you. This is puppy Kuma. He is a year and a half old, and he is just an absolute bundle of energy. He's also one of the sweetest pups we've ever had. He is just an awesome little guy, and we have loved adding him to our little pack here. And those are the 3 huskies that we own. But if you count back here, we sort of have a 4th one here. So this is Teagan, and Teagan is a foster. Okay? She is a husky. We think she might be mixed maybe with German Shepherd a little bit, but she's a foster. So we have decided around January that we would give fostering a try. And if you thought 3 huskies was a lot of work, add a 4th that has a few issues that need help working through. So we are fostering Teagan through an organization called Husky Haven of Florida. They're an awesome organization that help the husky breed here in Florida. Because the fact is we love the husky breed. They're just an awesome breed of dogs. For the longest time in my life, if you said dog, I'm thinking husky. So if you wonder where our love of huskies came from, it's always been the dog. That's always been the thing that pops into my head when you say dog. I've always loved them, but they're a very misunderstood breed, and a lot of people will get into them not quite understanding how much work is involved with these animals here. And so Teagan, we don't know much about her. She's about 2-3 years old. She came from Texas, had just had puppies. We received her after she was freshly spayed, and there have been some issues to work through. It's been hard integrating her into our little pack here. She's got some possession aggression that we've worked through. She's doing a lot better now. And I want to say we've had her since about January. I'm really bad at like timeline stuff, so maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But we are just temporarily fostering Teagan until she can be adopted by her new permanent loving family. We thought because we have had 3 huskies now, we are very familiar with the breed, and we want to help huskies out here that are misunderstood in Florida, that we might be able to do a good job at fostering. And I think we have done a good job. I just think it might have been a little bit more work than we were expecting. So we're not sure if right now is the right time to be fostering. We don't honestly know if we're going to continue fostering after Teagan finds her new home. It may be something that we revisit down the road, but it is something that we're interested in doing. So if you are interested in anything about the Husky Haven thing or Teagan at all, we're going to leave some information down in the video description here, but we wanted to just share that that's kind of been one of our issues that has stacked up on the side here. Let's get back to those sea suckers. Well, what do you know? Look how far a little bit of preventative maintenance went in solving our silly little issue here. Thank you, Jen, for helping us figure out what the problem was with these Sea Sucker MaxTrax mounts. Guys, again, this is one of the accessories that we have on the truck that we absolutely love because it genuinely provides a useful, innovative solution for a problem as simple as where to put our MaxTrax. Sea Sucker makes a ton of awesome things. We're going to put some information down in the description below. Feel free to check out what kind of innovative solutions they have that might help out your setup. But enough of that. Let's move on to a different issue now. Unfortunately for this one, we're going to have to take off our moose knuckle split jowl shackle. But trust me, I think it's going to be worth it. I'm not sure what I was really expecting installing this bike rack on the back of Loki here, but that went incredibly smooth. Now, these bikes have been an issue for us for a while now. They've just been laying around the garage. I want to say we picked them up about a year ago, and they're just cheap starter mount bikes from REI, but we picked them up in hopes of getting into some biking adventures. The thing is, we go and do all of this off-roading, this overlanding, we go on these hikes, and we've seen these pathways that look like they'd be fun for some biking adventures, and we've also come across people biking some of these paths, and like I said, it just looked like a lot of fun. So we picked up these bikes in hopes of getting into doing some of those adventures. However, we quickly realized we had an issue of getting the bikes to the places that we wanted to go on these adventures. And so we started doing some research of how to transport the bikes. We found rack mounts. We found a couple other solutions. But like a rack mount, we wouldn't want to be lifting the bikes to the top of our truck, nor would we want to increase the height of our truck by that much, especially if we're going to try to go to some of these remote locations where we think it might be fun to do some of these biking adventures. We quickly learned that we were really looking at some sort of hitch mount bike rack. And well, we wanted it to fit a certain set of needs. We're, yes, just getting into doing the biking adventures, but we're pretty sure we're going to enjoy it, and we wanted the rack to be a good, lifelong quality product that would allow us to grow into the biking adventures. So we wanted something that was going to last a good while and be able to accept a variety of different bikes as that biking adventure changes form like we think it might. We wanted something that was expandable, so we wanted something, this is just a 2-bike rack, but we wanted something that could be expanded to 3 or 4 bikes, and that's exactly what we have here. Now, the other thing that we wanted was we wanted a rack that was going to be able to withstand the kind of adventures that we possibly want to take these on. Say we want to go on an overlanding trip and we want to bring these bikes, well, we wanted it to be something that was quality enough to be able to sustain that kind of abuse. And what you really start getting into is a rack that's quite expensive. Now, the best manufacturers of racks that we know of was Kuat, and Kuat rarely does discounts, and that's why we took it as a sign this weekend to pick up this rack, because at the Save Expo we met up with our friends Rack Attack, and they were partnered up with Kuat that weekend. They had the exact racks that we were realistically looking at. This is one of the ones that we were kind of thinking to pick up down the road. And Rack Attack was running a 20% discount, so we jumped right on it. So thank you to the Rack Attack guys, thank you to the Kuat guys there at the booth. You guys were absolutely awesome. But let me show you this rack now, and let me show you how well this is going to work down the road as we grow into biking adventures and combine it with possibly some overlanding adventures down the road. So this is the Kuat Piston Pro X, and it is a great bike rack. It has the adjustability to be able to shift bikes forward and back. It has the ability to be sized for multiple different bike tire sizes. And it is expandable out to 4 bikes. It's also a super easy bike rack to use. And, well, let me show you one of the benefits, because we have it attached to the Kuat Pivot V2, and that's where the real key of this is, because this is also just a really good quality bike rack, and it looks like it's going to absolutely stand up to the kind of adventures that we're talking about potentially taking these on. So just excuse me as I duck down here, but with the Pivot V2 here, it is securely mounted, and we can now just swing the bikes out of the way, because remember, our overlanding setup is back here at the tailgate. Sea suckers are still doing good, but that gets the bikes up out of the way. It's not interfering with any other part of our overlanding setup, and that's what makes this really exciting, is that we could combine awesome biking adventures with off-road and overlanding adventures, and that's something Tracy and I are so excited about. Now, the other thing that is really nice about this rack is that it has built-in brake lights. So if you're talking about potentially getting expensive bikes down the road, and you're talking about potentially taking them cross-country, it's nice that the safety factor is built into this bike rack, and that the brake lights are brought to the back side of the rack, so there's no depth confusion. Because the last thing you would want is to possibly have somebody rear end the back of your bike rack with your expensive bikes and your expensive rack potentially getting damaged. So that was awesome, but that's the solution to yet another issue that we've had. Let's move on to really the bigger issues that we have and what the real purpose of this video is. And while those somewhat larger issues have to do with the truck here. The truck is running absolutely fine. The setup is great, but we do have a few issues that have kind of collected up on the side that Tracy and I haven't been able to find the time to take care of. So they're just kind of collecting around, if you will. Some of those issues are like the fact that the rear diff lock still does not engage on the truck. We replaced it brand new a while ago, and for some reason about a month later we were not able to get it engaged anymore. That's a super simple system to look at. It just takes some time to do that. We have issues like after the Ozark trip, we realized that the front main seal on the engine here is leaking oil. It's a super slow leak. We're not terribly worried about it, but it's going to take some time to dive into the front end, get things torn apart so that we can fix that issue. While we're there, we're probably going to take the opportunity to finally install some stuff that we have literally had laying around for about a year and a half. So about a year ago, we changed out the fan clutch because we were having some overheating issues. We also picked up at that time a brand new radiator to install because we just wanted to eliminate any kind of overheating issues, and we've just never gotten around to installing that. A year and a half ago, Tracy and I replaced the entire power steering system in the truck because we were just having these kind of consistent gremlins in the power steering system. The rack would fail, then the pump would fail, then the rack would fail. The racks in these things are super expensive because we tried to stick OEM, but we just decided we were going to bite the bullet. We replaced the entire system, all of the hoses, the pump, the power steering rack. We also wanted to add in a cooler to the power steering fluid system, as well as a magnetic filter, so that we could just eliminate those issues finally. We have yet to even dive into getting that fixed up, and well, when we have the front end tore apart, we might as well try to take care of that, as well as we've always had kind of an exhaust leak on the truck, and we've just never thought about even trying to take care of it because we figure it's going to turn into one of those things that's just going to take a lot longer than we think, or we're pretty sure it's going to turn into that. Being that the truck is 10 years old, a lot of times exhaust stuff does not come apart as easy as you would hope. So there's all these things that we'd like to get taken care of on the truck, as well as things that we'd like to change new. There are some new things that we'd like to install on the truck that are going to take some time. And so what we're really talking about here is the need to have some downtime for the truck to try to take care of some of these collected issues that we've just been gathering around. And well, that leads into another issue, like the fact that we just live our lives with such busy schedules. In order to take apart the front end of the truck, we're going to have to get it into the garage back here, which is just an absolute mess because we can just never find the time to just dedicate a weekend to just cleaning everything up. So this thing has turned into an absolute mess, but we're gonna have to get the truck into the garage because our HOA does not like it when we tear the truck apart and leave it in the driveway. That's just the joy of home ownership here. And well, we're talking about having some downtime on the truck. That means we're going to have to slow down on some of the adventures for a little bit. So this is leading us into probably looking at a little bit of an irregular schedule in the next coming months. We're going to still try to put out content because that's something that we enjoy doing. So we may take like a little bit of a vlog style approach, much like this video was today. When we go to start taking care of some of the issues on the truck, we may take like a vlog style approach in sharing that journey with you as well. We also have some open-ended projects that we have found to be a little bit more difficult of videos to put together, and we'd like to get those open-ended projects wrapped up as well. So we're probably going to try to take care of those in the next coming months, but just stick around with us. Like I said, we have some awesome plans coming up this summer, and if we can get some of these issues wrapped up, it's going to keep us going for a lot longer. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes look into Tracy and I's hectic lives that we just absolutely love. But we're gonna wrap it up here. As always, thank you for watching. do more of what you love, and we hope to see you on the next one. To learn more about us and find out ways to help support the adventures, visit our website, sunshinestatevikings.com. And to keep up with our adventures, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Sunshine State Vikings.